So good morning, everybody. Happy Navaratri. Today is the second day of Navaratri, so second day dedicated to Durga. And Durga is the first energy that arrives because she's the energy that helps us to detach or sweep away whatever has felt like it's been too overwhelming, or it's been too accumulated, or it's been become too stagnant, right? It's lost its life, right? It's lost its shininess. It's lost the prana, right? So Navaratri is this 9-day celebration where we are transforming from the inside out. And kind of that's where it starts, is with this understanding of where has all of your prana gone, right? Where has the excitement in your life disappeared to? Where has the passion in your life disappeared to? Where has the abundance of your life disappeared to, right? So we start with that. And Durga is the one that helps us to understand it by saying you have to look at it clearly. Right? You have to look at it honestly and not turn away from whatever it is that you find, because in most cases, right, where all of those things in our life has gone is we've given them away, right? That's generally the reality, is that in one way or another, we've given away some aspect of what we wanted. And then we turn around and we say, well, I don't feel so good without it. How do I get it back? Right? So that's Navaratri, is starting at that point where you start to be the witness to your own life, and where you start to be the one that says, I am responsible for where all of my prana has gone. And I'm also the one that's responsible for bringing it back and feeling like it's something that is generated through you again, right? And then not going into the same patterns where you keep giving it away. So I've been saying this week that Durga gives us this opportunity to step into your life as the peaceful warrior. And the peaceful warrior is the one that has a real acknowledgement of what the energy is behind your thoughts. Because the energy that's being generated behind your thoughts is what's going to create the actions that you take, right? And even the things that you say, well, I'm not acting, I'm not doing anything, I'm actually holding back from doing something that maybe I want to do from a reaction, right? The energy of your thoughts is still affecting the world, even if you're not acting upon it, right? So that inward understanding of this is what I am generating in me. This is where we give the prana away, right? We give the prana away to those thoughts. We give the prana away to trying to hold things in or push things out. So the practice becomes stepping into the acknowledgement of what's behind your thoughts, right? The energy that you're carrying into the world. So that's what we're practicing, right? Is coming into that understanding so that what we do create in the world is a little bit more authentic to who we really are, right? Not what we think we should be doing, but who we actually are and who we actually want to be in the world, how we want to be seen, how we want to be understood, right? So find your comfortable seat if you're not there already, and let the eyes close. And start to breathe very deeply. And then imagine in your seat that you are actually sitting inside of a cave. So maybe you even embrace this concept that there is a darkness, not a scary darkness, just darkness. You're enclosed. If you have claustrophobia, then you imagine this however you need to not trigger that. But imagine that feeling, right? That you are in a quiet place. Or imagine that reality, you're in a quiet place. Outside world is far away. In that quiet place where the outside world is far away, who are you? There's no reason to get up and run. There's nothing that you need to do. No demands on you whatsoever. So who are you? What spontaneously rises up to say that this is my impulse, this is my desire to bring into the world, whether it's asked for or not, this is my desire. And if there's no answer there yet that is clear, that's fine. We're looking to move from this internal place that says, I'm not trying to fit into the role the world has given me. That's not all I'm trying to do. There's an awareness of what I truly desire to be. And if that's what is behind our thoughts, that's what's our motivation for taking the actions that we take, is that what we do will carry that energy, even if it doesn't turn out perfectly. One more deep breath, your own cave, own personal cave, quiet place, where you are exactly as you wish to be, you are exactly as you were created to be. Even when you come out of that cave, don't change it. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart center. Please rub your palms. Good. Wake up your prana. And then steady the palms of the heart, please. Let the eyes close, again, feeling just the warmth of your hands. We'll open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands, please. Come forward to hands and knees. And start to do some cat and cow. Good. Breathing as long as you can through your spine. Beautiful. Spread your fingers wide, push into your hands, push into your shins. Good. And the more energy you put into your connection to the floor, the more freedom you're going to find in your spine. So push down and then move a little more freely, move a little deeper. Good. Nice, you guys. Last breath as you exhale and round, stay there, pause. Good. And then really drag the hands back and widen that space between the shoulders and the ears. So lift through the back of your throat, get longer through your throat, but keep the chin slightly dropped. Good. Belly rounded. Nice. And then keep lifting the collarbones up, 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 like you're trying to straighten your spine, but don't drop your ribs. So the back of the throat lifts, inner thighs go back. Good. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Collarbones up and wide. Nice. And then tuck your toes, please. Lift your hips. Come back, downward facing dog. Good. And then start to walk your feet forward towards your hands, please. Nice. Takes some of you longer to get to the top of your mat than others. Good. Feet underneath your hips. Good. Bend your knees. Keep your head dropped. Roll up your spine one vertebra at a time. So stacking each piece of your spine. So hips over heels. Good. Round more, more. Get into that middle back area that never wants to round. Good. And then all the way up to straight. Nice, you guys. Take a look down at your feet, please. Feet are hip width apart. So if you don't know what that is, you find that bony part at the front of your pelvis, right? And try and set your feet as wide as those bony parts at the front of your pelvis are. Good. Feet facing straight ahead, baby toes parallel the outer edges of your mat. So you might have to move your heels a little bit wider. And then bend your knees a little bit so that you bring the weight of your shins forward. Good. And then as the weight of your shins move forward, bring the weight towards the balls of your feet and then find your heels. And then feel as though you're squeezing just a little bit to lift the arches of your feet. Good. And then look at your knees. They're pointing towards the second or third toe of each foot. Good. Your inner thighs are pushing wide. Your outer hips are pushing wide. Good. Nice. And then maintain all of that. Start to straighten your legs. So as you straighten the legs, the shins are still coming slightly forward. The tops of your thighs draw back. Good. So as the legs come to straight, no locking your knees. Shins are forward. Tops of your thighs go back. Shoulders are over your hips. Good. Draw in the low space of your belly. Round into your back just a little bit. So soften the front rib cage. Let the back of your ribs, almost like you're a bird kind of lifting your wings. So the back of your shoulder blades lift up and rounds. Good. And then maintain that and start to lift your collarbones up and wide again. Draw those inner armpits wide. Good. So you're all the way up to stand, Sarah. Good. And then relax the arms alongside you. Good. Draw the ears back. Draw the throat back. Good. Chin level with the floor. Press up through the crown of your head. Press down through your heels and let your eyes close. This is mountain pose. All of that to come into standing straight up and down. But again, you're constantly coming back to this awareness, right, of what is the steady ground that you are standing on. Durga is sometimes referred to as the fortress, right? So instead of a cave, you could say you have your own fortress. And that is, what are the principles? What are the desires? What is the reality that you are standing on? So stay steady. Find your heels if your weight is falling too far forward. One more breath. If you're bored here, lift through the back of your throat, get taller. Good. And then bend your knees, take your sit bones back and low, stretch the arms up alongside your ears for chair. Interlace your fingers, press heels of the hands out beyond the crown of your head. So push out. Good. Throat still draws back. So if you've already lost your rib cage here, pull your ribs in, send the tops of your thighs back and down, and then widen your inner knees a little more. And then press through the big toe mounds of your feet. Good. And then press into the feet, come all the way up to stand. Keep the hands as they are, reach up. Good. Pull long through your spine, side body stretch to your right. Keep the hands where they are. Good. Nice. Don't let your pelvis twist here. So draw the top of that right hip back in space because it tends to come forward. Come back up to center with the arms. Go the other way. Side body stretch to your left. Good. Pressing into both feet. Stay lifted through your left hip, your left side body. Good. Don't let your knees lock back. Shins forward. Yeah. Come all the way back up to center, please. Beautiful. And then bend the knees again. Drop back towards chair. This time, take the hands back behind you, interlace the fingers at the low spine, keep lifting your low belly up off of your thighs. And as you squeeze those upper arms and your ribs pop forward, pull your ribs back in and draw your throat back because now you're clenching in your neck, I guarantee. Good. Drop your butt a little lower, please. Yeah. And then start to bow forward, take the head forward, start to stretch the arms up and over, and then send your butt to the sky. Come into straight legs with the arms coming up and over. Good. With the acknowledgement, right, that as you straighten your legs, you're pushing your butt to the sky, you're pressing through your heels, but your knees never have to lock. Beautiful. Release the hands down to the floor, please. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Right hand comes to outer left ankle or shin. Left arm comes to the sky, spinal twist. And if reaching for the ankle doesn't make sense, keep the right hand on the floor, right underneath your shoulder. Good. So legs wide, Victoria, as wide as your mat. Right hand reaching for left ankle, left arm to the sky, twist. Good. Come back to center, please. Go the other way. So left hand reaches for right ankle, right arm comes to the sky. Keep your inner thighs pushing wide. Good. Keep your inner knees slightly wide. Press through the big toe mounds of each foot. Good. Let your weight roll forward towards the balls of your feet and then scoop your belly, push your butt higher to the sky. Good. Throat back. Yeah. And then release the hand down to the floor. Come all the way back to center. Good. Keep your feet just as wide. Bend your knees. Drop your thighs parallel to the floor. Take your butt back. Yeah, just parallel to the floor. Don't come lower than that. Good. And then fingertips walk forward, please. So you're nice and long in your spine. Cat-cow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And the trick here is to try and keep your weight moving into your heels. So don't let all of the weight fall forward towards the balls of your feet. So Lauren, move your butt back. Good. Yeah, you got it. Nice. Andrea, butt back a little more. Good. Heidi, hips lower. Yep. Good, you guys. Next time you round your back, pause there, hug those shins towards each other, widen your inner thighs, lift your butt a tiny, tiny bit, lift your butt. Yeah, now your hips are awake. Now walk your hands back towards your feet, please. Relax that rounding, straighten your legs. Forward fold. Beautiful. Heel toe your feet a little closer, please. Take your hands to your hips. Come all the way up to stand. Good. And then bring the right knee up in towards your chest. Squeeze. Good. Hug in. Top of your left thigh goes back, up and back. Good. Cross the right thigh on top of the left, please. Bend your left knee, wrapping the legs for eagle. Good. So you're wrapping the thighs and the outer shins, inner thighs and outer shins. Bend your left knee and then cross the right arm over top of the left in front of your chest. Sorry, left arm over right in front of your chest. Wrap the forearms. Good. And then as you're squeezing the extremities, right? You're squeezing the arms, squeezing the legs, pull your belly in towards your spine, drop your butt. Yep. Squeeze the outer shins towards each other. That's the big focus, right? Don't just squeeze your thighs, but squeeze your outer shins. Scoop your belly, drop your butt. Good. Nice, you guys. One more breath. And then slowly release. Come all the way back up to stand. Good. Find mountain pose. Plant your feet. Set your hips over top of your heels. Let the knees come slightly forward. Tops of the thighs come back. Inner thighs go wide. Low belly draws in so that your tail is just neutral. Your tailbone is just reaching for the floor. Front rib cage softens in, but your collarbones lift. Hands should be just in line with your hips or slightly forward. Don't pull them back. It's going to pull your ribs forward if you pull your arms back. Good. Long throat. And are you breathing from the top of your head down to your heels, or did your breath stop at your lungs? Did your awareness stop at the end of your head? Nice. Left knee up and towards your chest. Good. Squeeze in. And then take the left thigh on top of the right, wrapping the inner thigh and the outer shin. Bend your right knee, dropping the hips. Right arm comes on top of left in front of your chest. Wrap the forearms. Good. So squeezing the shins, right? It's my emphasis is, yeah, you're squeezing the thighs too, but I want you to focus more on squeezing your shins together. That means that the one that's on top is squeezing inside, but the one that you're standing on is pushing wide, right? So there's both actions happening. And then pull your left hip point back. Yeah, nice, Sandy. Nice, Sarah. Nice, you guys. Lift your chest a little higher. I really advocate for a vertical pigeon. It's not pigeon, it's eagle. A vertical eagle. Good. Slowly release, come all the way back out. Find your mountain pose. Feet underneath the hips. Shins moving forward, knees soft. As the knees are softening, the tops of the thighs are pulling back. The pelvic points are lifting up. That's part of the low belly drawing up. Low rib cage is softening back, so it's going to feel like your back body gets really full. Collarbones go wide. From your armpits, pull back, not your arms. And then lift through the back of your throat. Good. Don't stand in your natural stance because your natural stance has a lot of strange habits in it. Stand in mountain pose. Good, which means that internally, again, you're in that quiet space where nothing is demanded of you. And so who are you? Good. Nice, you guys. Arms to the sky. Inhale. Bend the knees, drop back towards chair. Good. Right hand reaches to outer left knee. So the hand, not the elbow. Right hand to left knee. Take your left hand reaching straight back behind you. Yep. So you're twisting to your left. Good. And you're reaching out through that left shoulder, through that left arm. Don't let your knees fall in. Yeah. And then come back to full chair, arms up alongside the ears. Inhale. Go the other way. Left hand to outer right knee. Right arm comes straight back behind you. Good. Keep that low belly drawing up towards your spine. Keep your ribs drawing in towards your spine. And reach through your shoulder. Twist more. Reach through your shoulder. Good. And then back to center. Inhale, arms up, full chair. Good. Release the hands down to the floor. Please straighten the legs and bow. Nice. Step your right leg back behind you, please. Drop the back heel to 45 degrees. You can step that foot wider to the right if you'd like. Warrior one. Bend your left knee. Take the arms up to the sky. Good. So the back toes, again, they're not turned all the way out. They're more forward than they are to the side. Make sure you're finding that. Outer right hip is spinning forward. Good. And then can you start to find the same feeling that you are pressing through your heels, knee moves slightly forward, shin hugs in, inner thighs, tops of thighs go back, lift through that low belly, rib cage softens, armpits draw back, throat is long. Good. The joke in yoga asana is that every single pose is mountain pose. So the same alignment, the same integrity, the same awareness that you have when you're just standing still, you want that in every position. Good. I know. How long can you hold warrior one before you're just done with it? The answer is longer than you think you can. If you just relax, you can be here forever. Good. One more breath. Lift your inner back thigh a little higher. Yeah. Good. And then spin that back heel up, please. Release the hands down to the floor. Thank God. Right hand plants, left arm to the sky. Good. Nice, you guys. Take a deep breath in and then open that left shoulder a little higher. That's it. Good. And then release the hand down to the floor, please. Drop the back knee. Good. Both hands inside the front foot. Walk towards the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Come on down to your elbows if you'd like, or stay on fingertips. Beautiful. Nice. So there's multiple ways, right, that we sometimes think of Durga. And Durga, we often get caught up in that energy of her being, like the superhero that comes in and saves you from the bad guys. The kind of sweeping energy that just comes through and it's very fast and intense and powerful. And you're like, yes, it's just going to move everything that I need to move. But she's also this. She's also that really stable, steady energy that simply does not move. Not because it's obstinate, but it doesn't move because when you are in a state of integrity, right, you're in a state of authenticity, there's nothing to move. So we're looking for that. We're looking for the framework of who we really are when nothing's being asked of us and it's just us with us. Who are we? And then we have to maintain that framework even when you're out in the world. Walk yourself back up. Good. Lift that back knee, step back to downward facing dog. Good. Pedal your feet. So the fortress, the safety of Durga is that if you know who you are, you really hold to that. And the things that used to be terrifying are not so terrifying. They might still be scary. Good. Steady your heels, please. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Good. Left foot can step a little wider to the left, please. Drop the heel to 45 degrees. Bend the right knee. Take the arms up, warrior one. Good. Left hip, that's your back hip, is spinning forward a lot. So when we talk about squaring the pelvis in warrior one, it's the back leg that really determines what you're going to be able to do in terms of changing the orientation of your pelvis. So work with the back leg first. Left hip spins forward. If that means you need to take your left foot wider to the left to make it happen, do that. Then the right low belly and hip can pull wide. So Mia, right hip back a little more, left hip forward a little more. That's it. And then you're reaching long through your spine. Again, warrior one, steady stance. And how long are you willing to hold to your integrity before you get tired and say, I'll just do it an easier way, right? How much is your conviction? The other attribute of Durga that we often highlight is that she's considered to be one of the fiercest of the goddesses, and that doesn't mean aggressive. But it means there's an intensity. So what she does intensely. If she's looking at you, she's looking straight at you, nowhere else. She's talking to you, she's talking to you and nothing else. That one pointed intensity. Do you have it right this moment? Or are you really just hoping the next breath is the one where I say, come out? It's okay if that's what's happening. Deep breath in. Good. And then spin the back heel up, release the hands down to the floor. Nice. Left hand plants, right arm to the sky. And I want you to hang out in these, big muscle poses, but I want you to do it in a way that isn't aggressive. Again, the peaceful warrior, you're aware of the energy behind your thoughts that's affecting the way that you're acting. Deep breath in, lift through that right shoulder, that right side chest a little more. Good. Front knee still over the front ankle. And then release that hand down, please. Both hands inside the front foot. Drop the back knee. Walk your hands to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Come on down to the elbows if you'd like, or stay where you are. Good. Your own personal mountain, your own fortress. You get to design it yourself, but you have to find it. What is the quiet place in you? Where is there the place that you can return to that says, this is really who I am? And maybe I got very caught up in a responsibility out in the world, or an expectation, or a job, or something somebody wanted me to be. So you have to remember that this is who you are when you're not trying to be out in the world, make sense of the world. And if you have no sense of that, meditate. It's the practice. Learn what that is. Design your own fortress. Walk your hands back in, please. Good. Lift your back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Again, pedaling the feet. Good. And then steadying the heels. Nice. Take your right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bring that knee forward in wide pigeon pose, right knee towards your right wrist. Good. Left heel comes towards the left hip point, sliding the left leg back. Good. And then stay upright for a moment. So up on fingertips or blocks if you need, so that you can really, again, push into something on the floor so that you're lifting through your spine. And you have that same feeling of the lift from your low belly. Draw the back, the front rib cage back. Draw those armpits back. Lift through the back of your throat. Good. And squeeze the legs towards each other. Nice. And then as you exhale, let yourself walk forward, please, coming to rest however you would like to rest in your pigeon. Good. And if you're on your back, great job. Just flex your feet. Nice. And again, staying with that really kind of quieter, steadier energy. You talk about transformation, and it's almost like it gets us hyped up to say, great, I'm going to go tear things apart. I want to get into that energy of things moving. Let me get away from this. And absolutely, sometimes that's what it is. But it's also this. It's also steady awareness. It's also figuring out that if you're going to build a new structure, what is the framework for that structure? And if your mind is already trained to go to the fast, 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 let me get away. And cultivating a quiet space. It doesn't have to be free of thought, just a quiet space inside of you creates a relief for a mind that is constantly running. So this also is transformation, is realizing where your place of inner safety, inner security, inner sanctuary is. That's Durga. She's the sanctuary. Take one more breath where you are, dropping a little deeper into the wideness of your back, of your shoulders. Good. And then walk yourself back up, please. Nice. If you're on your back, come up to sit. So sit towards your right hip, please. Swing your left leg around towards the top of your mat. Good. So left leg's going to come straight forward. Bring the bottom of the right foot to the inside of your left thigh. So Janu Shirshasana. So if you're coming up to sit, left leg is extended, right foot to the inside of the thigh. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Little twist to your left and then bow over the left leg. Good. Keep an awareness of that right foot pressing into the thigh. So it's not that the right leg is doing nothing in this position, but you can actively use that foot to keep the hip awake. As you keep the hip awake, there's a better opportunity for there to be an actual release of your outer hip. Good. So the hip staying awake means that the knee might lift just a little bit, but your groin pushes down. That's the key. So the inner edge of the thigh where the thigh meets the pelvis pushes down. Good. And then optional where you are is to bring the right hand to the baby toe side of your left foot. So you're coming into a little bit of a deeper twist. Good. And then the left arm to the sky. Maybe left arm reaches over your ear. You can even take the left hand just to your left hip and just open the rib cage. Good. But go a little deeper into that twist. Nice, Victoria. Good, Lauren. Good. Heidi, lift that left shoulder a little higher. That's it. Throat back. Good. And then release back to the forward fold, please. Nice. And come all the way back up. Good. Take your right hand back behind you, right hand plants. You're going to come up on your right shin, please. Lift your hips. Take your left arm up over the ear. Good. Press into that left foot. The left leg stays straight. And just reach through the whole side body. Yeah. Good. And then bring it all the way back to center, please. Nice job. Bend both knees, cross the ankles, roll forward onto hands and knees. Downward facing dog. So you're coming into pigeon on the other side. So if you plan to do that on your back, you can move towards your back. Left leg comes up and back behind you, down dog split. Bring the knee forward and wide towards your left wrist. Good. Heel crossing towards the right hip point. Nice. And then stay upright again for a moment, pressing into your fingertips or onto blocks. So you really get the lift of your chest. So there's the downward energy of the legs that's happening. And then there's the upward lengthening energy of your spine. Good. So that front foot is engaged, flexing the feet or at least curling the toes back, pushing into the floor. Armpits back, throat back. Yeah. Nice, you guys. You're still in mountain pose, even though it looks like pigeon. Good. And then release, please, walking the hands forward, forward fold. And if that doesn't quite make sense to you yet, every pose is mountain pose. Just consider that inner awareness that is there with mountain pose, the quietness that is there with mountain pose. You want that to be available in every single position you find yourself in. And it doesn't matter how complicated the position is or how difficult it might be to achieve physically, if we're not finding that place of quiet inside. And again, we can be intensely engaged and still quiet inside. That's a yoga practice. That's what we're doing. Just trying to find that combination of experience. And then that's what you take out into the world, the ability to be intensely engaged, fierce. That's what fierce means. But still quiet, which is what keeps you out of that edge of aggression, that somehow that behind your thoughts, that what's running behind you is this desire to destroy something or a desire to protect yourself against something. So we create that place, or we find that inner place of quiet. It can have all of the crazy of your mind all around it. That's fine, totally acceptable. Good. Every pose is mountain pose. One more deep breath. Really, if you're on your back, root that low spine down to the floor. Good. And then walk yourself back up, please. If you're on your back, find your way up to sit. Sit towards that left thigh, please. Swing your right leg around towards the top of your mat. So the right leg is straight forward. Your left foot comes to the inside of your right thigh. Janu Sirsasana. Inhale the arms up. Little twist to your right and bow forward. Good. Again, remembering that if you keep that left foot engaged, so pushing into the right thigh, maybe there's a little bit of a lift of the inner knee, so the outer hip muscles are actually engaged. but you draw that groin down, really anchored down through your sit bones, is that that's going to facilitate more actual opening through that hip instead of just letting the leg hang. Good. Nice, you guys. Careful that you don't lock your knees. If you're someone who locked your knees when you are standing up straight in mountain pose, you're going to lock your knees when you're sitting down in forward fold. So even here, your heel digs down, but there's a softness behind your knee and the top of your thigh pulls back to keep the leg straight. Good. Optional to move a little deeper into your twist, please, bringing the left hand to the baby toe side of your right foot. Good. And then right arm can come straight up to the sky. It can come to your hip. It can come over the ear. Lots of options. But open your chest, open your ribs, and draw your throat back, the sandy throat back. Nice, Victoria. Good, Marlene. Nice, Diane. Nice, Mark. Good. One more breath. Open more. Nice, Harriet. Good, Debbie. And then release back to the forward fold, please. And funny, we use the word release a lot, but do you actually release? Just curious. And then walk yourself back up. Good. Left hand plants right behind you, please. Behind your hip. You're going to come up on your left shin, take your right foot flat to the floor as you lift your hips and take that right arm up and over the ear. So it's like you're coming into a back bend here. So you are pushing through your right foot and you are trying to open the front of your pelvis towards the ceiling, opening the front of the ribs towards the ceiling, open the front of the chest. Good. That's it. Nice, Melanie. And then slowly come all the way back down, please. Good. Bend both knees, cross the ankles, roll forward to hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Left foot finds the floor. Baby toe parallels the back of your mat. Take the arms up to warrior two. Good. Shoulders are over your hips here. The pelvis is opening wide. The ribs are opening wide. Good. Find your heel of the front foot. So lift and spread the toes of the front foot and then drag back on that heel. So you should feel the back of your right thigh fire up a little more when you do that. Good. Nice, you guys. Left hand drops down the back thigh. Right palm spins up and back. Reverse warrior. Yeah. As you lean back, let your right thigh go a little deeper. Good. Lauren, just watch you don't let that back knee fall in. So keep lifting. Yep, there you go. Nice, you guys. Come back up to center, please. Beautiful. Straighten the front thigh. Good. Reach for triangle pose. Extend the right rib cage forward. The hand come down to touch the front leg floor or block. Left arm to the sky. Good. Keep squeezing the feet towards each other and at the same time drawing the inner knees away from each other. So it's like the feet are pulling in, but the inner edges of the legs are pushing away from each other. Nice. One more breath. Open that left rib cage a little wider. Good. And then bend your right knee again, please. Cartwheel the arms back up to warrior two. I know your mind was like, is it going to be Ardha Chandrasana? No, it's not. Sorry to disappoint you. Lift the heel of the front foot this time. So come up on the ball of the foot, lift your heel. And again, let your pelvis go a little lower. Good. And then stretch your arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers, press heels of the hands up, 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 up. And then drop your heel back down to the floor and then reach to the back of your mat again with your hands clasped overhead. Good. So that reverse warrior, but you're not dropping the hand. Nice. And then come all the way back up to center, arms wide, straighten the front thigh again. Trikonasana, extend the right rib cage forward. Let that right hand touch down, left arm to the sky. Good. Soften the front rib cage, draw the tops of your thighs back. So that means that that standing leg, your back leg, tends to push forward in any standing pose. So can you draw the top of your left thigh back? Bring your left butt cheek back. and then open your ribs a little more. That's it. Nice, you guys. Bend that right knee again, please. Release both hands down to the floor inside the front foot. Spin your back heel up. Good. And then bring that right shoulder inside the right knee, snuggle it in, bring the right hand around the back of your right heel so it comes to the baby toe edge of your foot. Press into your hands, press forward. Good. And pull back on your hips. So lift your butt higher, lift your back thigh higher. Good. Bend those elbows just a little bit and squeeze in like you're in chaturanga. Nice. And then some of you can play with, if you'd like, keep that back thigh super lifted, come up on the ball of your right foot again, lift the heel, and then maybe take the foot all the way off of the floor. You got to really lift your low belly, lift your back thigh. If your back thigh is collapsing here, your front foot's not going anywhere. You got to lift your butt if you want that front leg to come up. Nice, Heidi. Nice, Alice. Good. And then release that foot to the floor. Unwind the arms, please. Step your left foot forward just a little bit. Take both legs to straight. Parsvottanasana. It feels like heaven. I know it does. Yeah. I often say when I'm teaching classes like this that I know are annoying. Yes, I'm doing it on purpose. But it's only annoying to us because our mind is so into, generally, the go, go, go. It's into the concept of stretch. It's not into the concept of stay. But if you stay and you're really engaged in the pose, again, you're in that mountain mentality, that place of quiet, is that a lot of release can happen when you stay. If you're always moving, things will happen, but they might not be consistent. It might not be something that actually is sustained. We have to learn how to stay, even if it's annoying. One more breath. Good. And then step back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And then drop the knees to the floor, child's pose. I'm also very purposefully not doing any vinyasas. So if you're waiting for it, you're going to keep waiting. I'm not even going to give you the suggestion that you have a choice. Just no vinyasas. Not today. If you want, when we're done, you can do a marathon. You can do like 12 in a row. But my suggestion is don't. Stay quiet. And sometimes we use vinyasa as a way to say getting lost in the flow is another way of finding that quiet place, and it is. It's just as valid. But we shy away from the practice that says just stay. So today we're the mountain, today we're the fortress. Just stay. Walk your hands back in, please. Come back to downward facing dog. Good. Left foot steps forward between the hands, lunge. Back heel comes to the floor, baby toe parallels back of your mat, warrior two. Good. Nice, you guys. Lift and spread the toes of that front foot and drag back on the heel. So again, you get a little bit of more of that activation of the back of your left thigh. Good. And then right hand down the back thigh, left palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Letting the front knee go a little deeper, letting your pelvis descend. Good, just don't let that back knee fall in, Lauren. That's it. Yeah, you got to keep pushing that inner thigh up. Good, come back up to center, please. Straighten the front knee. Start to reach for triangle. Extend your left rib cage long, 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 and then let the left hand touch down to the front leg floor or block, right arm to the sky. Awareness of that back thigh. So the right thigh is going to have a tendency here to push forward. So rotate it inward and draw it back in space. And then open your left rib cage a little higher. That's it. Still squeezing the feet towards each other. Nice, Melanie. Good, Andra. Good, you guys. Bend the front knee again, please. Cartwheel the arms back up to warrior two. Good. This time lifting the heel of the front foot. So come on to the ball of the foot. Good. And again, letting your knee come slightly more forward into the lunge. Drop the pelvis low. Take the arms up alongside your ears. Interlace the fingers. Press heels of the hands up. So again, that downward widening energy of your legs and that upward engaged energy of the torso. Awesome. Release that heel flat to the floor, please. Keep the arms where they are. Lean to the back of your mat. Reverse warrior. Good. And then come all the way back up to center. Arms wide, straight in the front thigh. Good. Reach for triangle. Extend the left rib cage forward, forward, forward. Let the hand come down. Front leg floor block. Right arm to the sky. Good. Remembering that back thigh. It has a tendency to push forward, and it's going to have that tendency forever. It's not like it's going to just stop doing that. So move it back. Good. And open from your ribs, open from your trunk a little more. Nice. Soften your front rib cage in, Harriet, a little more. That's it. Nice, Debbie. Good. And then bend your front knee, please. Release both hands down to the inside of the front foot. Spin your back heel up. And then left shoulder comes inside your left knee. Slide the hand behind the heel of your foot. So you're wrapping the left arm behind your calf. Good. And then you're pressing into both hands. Bend your elbows a little bit. Kick your butt a little higher. Good. Push forward with the upper body. So your chest is going forward, but you're hugging those hands back. Throat up. Butt a little higher. If your butt is dropping low, then nothing's going anywhere. Nice, Lauren. And then maybe play with coming up to the ball of that front foot, lifting the heel, maybe taking that leg all the way up off the floor. Good. If you want to get super crazy, the elbows can bend a little bit here, and you can start to work at really lifting that low belly. Maybe the right elbow finds the front of your pelvis or your ribs, and that right leg, believe it or not, can come off of the floor as well. Nice, Alice. Nice, Lauren. Good. And then slowly release, come all the way back out. Good. Right foot steps forward just a little bit. Parsvottanasana. So the left leg is still forward. Right foot steps in just enough for both legs to go to straight. Good. Yeah. So a little later today, I intend to, I'll give you guys the spoilers. I intend to post on the goddess page a picture of one of my daughter's toys. It's a lion, right? It's a lion, but it's a Valentine's lion. So the shape of its mane is in the shape of a heart, and it's, pink and red and whatever. And the, tagline for that is going to be, there's a lot of different ways you can be fierce. Right? There's a lot of ways that you can be in the world that is very intensely engaged and still quiet, still soft, still with an energy that is above all inclusive and loving. And you can still get shit done. So what is the nature of your own fortress when it's just you and you? Who do you really want to be? Who are you really? And then how much are you tearing that down the minute you step out into the world? How much are you hiding it? Good, because all of that holding locks up our prana. All of that holding generates behind our thinking, behind our actions. So let's agree to just stay as we are, who we are. Good, bend that front knee, release the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Drop the knees to the floor, child's pose. And the reference to the lion, if you're not aware, Durga rides on a lion. That's what she shows up with. And it's meant to, metaphorically, it's meant to show her mastery over all of our base instincts, animal instincts, right? The place in you that wants to bite back when someone has hurt you or when you're scared. All of the immediate gut reactions. There's all of that if you are really present for yourself. Because it doesn't have to create more disturbance. It doesn't have to create harm. But if we're not paying attention, often it does by accident. And we still live with the pain. So there's a lot of ways to be in the world and be fierce and still quiet. One more breath, drop in a little deeper. And then walk yourself back up, downward facing dog. Good. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Inhale the arms to the sky, high lunge. Take your arms out wide, letter T. Bring your left arm in front of the right, in front of your chest, wrapping the arms for eagle. So left arm in front of right or on top of right. Good. Nice. And then you're going to bring your chest forward parallel to the floor. You guessed it, warrior 3. Lift that back thigh. Keep the arms in eagle if you can. So again, there's this sense that you have to draw the inner armpits or even the outer armpits back towards the center of your spine. Good. And you have to really lift up, lift up, lift up and get long. Yes. And then step it all the way back to high lunge, arms still in eagle. Inhale, lift the elbows a little higher, stretch the shoulders, stretch the back. Nice, Mark. Nice, Mia. And then release the arms up. Inhale. Good. And then hands down to the floor. Awesome. Step back, downward facing dog. Downward facing mountain pose. Let's rename everything. Good. Left foot steps forward between the hands. Inhale the arms up to the sky, high lunge. Good. Take the arms out wide. Right arm comes on top of left, wrapping the arms for eagle. Nice. And then take the torso forward, please. As the torso comes forward, already low belly lift, step up warrior 3. Right thigh comes parallel to the floor. Cannot collapse in your chest here. Draw those armpits back. Good. Squeeze them towards the back of your heart. Nice. Flex that foot that's in the air. Got it, Sandy. Turn those toes down. You got it. I know. Mia, turn your toes down towards the floor. Good. Step back. High lunge, please. Lift those elbows a little higher. Really nice, Harriet. Nice, Heidi. Good. And then release the arms. Take the arms around and up. And then hands down to the floor. Good. Step back to plank pose. Tadasana, facing the floor. Good. Lift those inner thighs. And even here, can you soften your knees? Because if you lock your knees in every other position, you're locking your knees here. So soften your knees and lift the tops of your thighs and send your tail towards your heels. Good. And now armpits, again, pull towards the middle of your back. Good. Drag back on your hands, long throat. Nice. Extend out through your heels, extend out through the crown of your head, push into your hands. If you have time to think about anything else, remember to breathe. Good. And then knees to the floor, all the way down to your belly, please. Again, so it's a soft landing. I told you to come down to your knees. And then rest on your belly, make a pillow with your hands, rest your forehead on your hands. It's actually a technique in some traditions that after every pose or every couple of poses is you would lay in Shavasana. Or this is like a belly Shavasana, crocodile variation. Why do you think that is? It's to cultivate that sense of quietness. It gives the mind a little something to do and then rest. So we need to build that back into our lives, the peaceful warrior. If we want to maintain that, we want to achieve that, be that. We have to have an awareness of what's behind our thoughts, but we also have to have a place we can go to rest. And trust me, my mind is one that rejects rest. Doesn't like the idea of it. I'm right there with you with the desire of just give me the vinyasa. I'm ready to go to the next thing. Just stay. And then at the end of the next exhale, stretch your arms reaching back towards your feet. Forehead still faces the floor. Press into the front of your pelvis, float your legs up off the floor. Lift head, neck, and chest, come into locust. Go ahead, float the arms up as well. You could say I'm in a locust phase. Keep teaching it. But I keep getting these complaints from everyone about their lower backs, and locust is a really good opportunity to stretch your whole spine, to work the muscles of the back. So get longer, pull your heels back. Don't try to lift them higher, pull back. Yeah. And then release back down to your belly. Nice. And then flip over onto your back, please. If you have a block, you can bring it close, bend your knees, plant your feet, lift your hips, place the block underneath your sacrum. Good. If you don't have a block, you could use a pillow or something like that. It won't be quite as same kind of support, but it would work. Good. Relax the arms. I do want you to keep your knees in line with your hips. So if your knees have a tendency to splay wide, put enough effort in to not let them go wider than your hips. Yeah, so you're in just supported bridge pose, Mia. One of my favorite things is Durga's mantra, or her seed sound is doom. I can't remember if I read it or if it's something that I made up myself, but I think I read it, that it's almost a reference to like the sound of the beat of your heart, where they say that there's actually a beat, there's a rhythm of the universal heart, the universe itself. You often see at Shiva, he's playing a drum. It's like that drum beat. And so if you'd like to mentally repeat the sound doom in your moments of quiet, or just listen to your own heartbeat inside, the way it sounds inside of you. It's just tapping you back into something that's a little bit more steady, that no matter how far away you go in your external life, this is something you can return to. Your heartbeat is always with you. That heartbeat of the universe is always there. It's the fortress. Stay where you are if you're happy where you are. If you'd like to take your legs straight up to the sky in a supported shoulder stand here, you're welcome to do that. If you'd like to come into full shoulder stand, you're welcome to do that. Good. So again, many options. Remember, you can engage in the world in many ways, intensely, fiercely, and still stay quiet. So wherever you choose to place yourself, do it with that sort of sharpened intensity, that you know where you are and you know why you are where you are. Good. And making sure if you're in full shoulder stand, using your hands to support the lower spine. You're fine where you are, Lauren, because you're in plow. Good, keep breathing. Even this, legs up, upside down, still mountain pose. There's still the drawing in of the ribs. There's still the lengthening of your spine. There's still the awareness of what are my legs doing? Am I locking my knees? I'm upside down and somehow I'm still locking my knees. Still Tadasana, still that place of inner quiet. Take a couple more breaths. And then as you feel ready, if you're in full shoulder stand, start to roll down the spine one vertebra at a time, bending the knees as they come in towards your chest. If you have your seat on the block, place your feet back down to the floor. Good. Lift the block, or lift your butt, take the block out from underneath you. Let the hips find the floor. Yeah, pause for a moment, let your spine settle. And then bring the knees in towards your chest. Good, bring the knees wide for happy baby, reaching for the ankles or the feet, stacking the heels on top of the knees. Good, draw the low belly in, root down through the back of your sacrum. Good, and then just briefly bring the right ankle on top of your left knee. And reach for your left thigh and squeeze in. Again, scooping your belly so you're pressing through the wideness of your lower back as you drag that left thigh in. And then switch, take the left ankle on top of the right knee. And reach through to hold the right thigh and drag that thigh in as you press your low back down into the floor. And then slowly release, hugging both knees in towards your chest. Squeeze. And extend the legs straight out in front of you. Good. Walk your feet to the bottom right-hand corner of your mat. Cross the left ankle over the right. Move your shoulders towards the top right corner of your mat. Or whatever, same direction as your feet. And then the arms can be overhead, holding opposite elbows or wrists. And if having the arms in that position doesn't feel like it is comfortable, sustainable, put the arms somewhere else, as long as the shoulders are curved. And breathing through the whole left side. Right? When we learn to just stay, we learn to actually just stay with who we really know ourselves to be, or we learn first, we have a discovery of who we really are beneath the way that we typically act. We learn to just stay. There's an intensity to that. And that's what the mind runs from. runs from how big and how deep a feeling is if you let it really just be, instead of trying to move through it, move away from it. So those qualities, the fierceness and the fortress, they go together. Yeah, it does take courage to decide to just stay. But you can practice being fierce and quiet, intensely engaged, but not disturbing, not aggressive. Walk yourself back towards center, please. Pause for a moment with the feet wide, the arms wide. And then go the other direction, walking the feet to the bottom left-hand corner of your mat, right ankle stacks on top of left. Move your shoulders to the upper left-hand corner. Again, arms overhead, holding opposite wrists or elbows, or whatever position of the arms is reasonable. And it is a little bit funny if you think about the symbology of the gods and goddesses, is they always have a vehicle, they have something they ride on. It's representative of an energy that they carry with them. So Durga is the lion or a tiger, depending on the version. And again, it's that fierce quality, but it's also rising above or beyond that animal instinct that says, I just want to react. I just want to survive. So in the same vein, where you can say, what is the nature of your own fortress? You build it for yourself, is what's your vehicle? You go riding through your life, is what do you ride on? Right? This is that conversation of what's the energy that is behind your thoughts. It's affecting your actions, affecting your presence in the world. Come back to center, please. Again, pausing a moment with the hands wide, the feet wide. And then bringing the feet closer together so they're right underneath your hips, legs extended so you're coming into Tadasana on your back, arms alongside you, palms facing up. Press down into your heels, flex your feet. Good, and even here, don't lock your knees. Shins move slightly forward, that's up towards the ceiling. Tops of the thighs press down and up. Low belly draws in, low ribs soften back. Find your back rib cage on the floor. Widen your upper chest. Long throat, even a little press of the back of the head into the floor. Tadasana. One more breath, hold everything, hold the integrity. And then release. And if you'd like to go straight to Shavasana, just let everything fall open. If you feel that you want a final spinal twist or anything else that would just make your body feel happy, do that. I know we're beginning the stage of the year where getting into Shavasana is basically getting ready for bed. To put on 16 layers of clothes and get blankets. And maybe in Shavasana, as you come back to that image of the quiet space, your own mountain, where nothing can reach you, nothing can disturb you. But in that quiet place, who are you? Very gently bring the awareness back to your breath. Letting the body begin to stretch and move in whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, bring the knees in towards your chest and roll to the right side. Take a moment there before you begin to push the floor away. Come back to an upright seated position. Bring the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm, or whatever mudra has been serving you. So to be that energy of the peaceful warrior means that we have to understand what it is to be fierce, intensely engaged, but without that edge of aggression that says that I want something for myself or I want something to be different than what's in front of me. There has to be an awareness of what's being generated behind your thoughts, which is affecting your presence, your action. The peaceful warrior is one that also has to know, where is home to you? Where is the quiet place inside? And who are you? Not who do you think the world needs you to be? Who are you? That's what you return to over and over again. This is the essence of meditation. This is the essence of whatever this practice of yoga is returning to that awareness that beyond what I am in the world, this is who I am, what I am. And I return to it over and over again. And as long as I know I can return to it, I can do anything I need to do outside. But we have to return to it first and learn to stay. The fortress, the mountain, it's where the goddess lives, and she lives there forever. No matter what you're doing, you return to that, you return to her. We'll close with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week until I see you again. If you're staying for meditation, you don't have to get off, but you're welcome to. We'll be back on in 10 minutes or so. And you have to unmute yourself to say anything to me.